Welcome to England. Sit back and relax as we take you along with us on the highlights of our month spent traveling the land of reign and royalty. While we will certainly have plenty of fun along the way, we hope to share practical tips for those who are planning a visit themselves. While we got a taste of London, we spent most of our time in the charming countryside and surrounding cities, and feel as though we have discovered some real gems. Be sure to stick around until the end to see why it is that York has quickly become one of our favorite cities in the world. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We create videos of our world travels, hoping to inspire others to dream up a journey of their own. This is the Dream to Journey family, spending a month traveling the best of Britain.
We begin in Bath, a strollable city where your jaw will drop around every corner. Nestled in the gorgeous English countryside and against the impressive Avon River, Bath has it all. The Royal Crescent is a notable landmark, a neat curved row of 30 terraced Gregorian houses. The city centre is dwarfed by the towering Bath Abbey. Notice the angels scaling the ladders to heaven on the front facade. To really appreciate all the history in this small town, take part in one of the free local volunteer-led tours that walk you through Jane Austen's stomping grounds to the bathwaters of Romans. The natural beauty of Bath, nestled against World UNESCO sites, all add up to an ambiance that will make you say, The Roman baths are a must-see when visiting. Right in the heart of the old town with gorgeous views of the Bath Abbey, you feel you have each foot in different periods of history. Constructed around 70 AD as a grand bathing and socializing complex, the Roman Baths is one of the best preserved Roman remains in the world. Walking the Roman Bath Museum using a self-guided audio tour, you see reconstructed models of the ancient baths and temples and hologram depictions of everyday life. Roman artifacts have been found in and around the natural hot springs. Roman and Celtic design types are found in the rubble around Bath, making them extremely unique compared to other Roman ruins. Though you cannot dip into these hot springs, there are many others around the city that are on our bucket list to try on another visit. The best souvenir to take for the double-decker bus ride home is a thick slice of Fudge Kitchen fudge. Absolutely mouth-watering and made in-house, we still dream about this UK sweet. Our favorite flavors were the sea salt dark chocolate and the lemon.
Up next, Stonehenge, one of England's most iconic sites. The visitor center is excellent and isn't to be missed. Dating to around 2500 BC, it's believed to have been constructed over a span of around 1500 years. The large standing stones weigh up to 50 tons, or the weight of 7 full-grown African elephants. One of the most intriguing aspects of Stonehenge is its alignment with the solstices. The exact purpose of Stonehenge is still a subject of debate, while many theories exist, including religious, ceremonial, and astronomical functions. No single theory has been universally accepted. The grassy area surrounding makes for a great spot to ponder its meaning, stretch out, and relax, at least for some of us. Sorry, Bailey. I'm just trying to get some good footage.
A worthwhile stop to make is in the town of Glastonbury. The Glastonbury tour is a place of magic and legend. Follow the steep but well-marked path to the tower site to fully soak in all the views and stories. Glastonbury is the site of the alleged discovery of once well-marked tombs of King Arthur and his Queen Guinevere. Though this hilltop sometimes became an island during floods, human use of this hill has been dated back to the 3rd century BC. This is no ordinary hilltop, said to have once been the safekeeping site of the Holy Grail, and early Celtic legend marks it as a portal between our world and the world of fairies. Even now, a special aura is felt by some of the spiritual pilgrims. While its history may be somewhat contested, it's undeniable that this hilltop has amazing 360-degree views, which make for an incredible picnic. Today, Glastonbury carries on in their belief of magic, healing wells and gardens, countless crystal shops, and even a few friendly wizards and witches invite you to get in touch with your spiritual side. Stepping back into history once more, we try to imagine one of the most rich and powerful monasteries in England during the 14th century, the Glastonbury Abbey. Massive in its prime, you can still feel the importance while wandering the grassy ruins. We know Reese won't understand the stories of King Arthur and Camelot for a while longer, but we sure loved enjoying his supposed burial place with her.
Nearby is the town of Wells. We're here to see its striking cathedral. Built in the 12th century, the exterior of Wells Cathedral is adorned with over 300 medieval statues depicting religious scenes. One of the unique features of Wells Cathedral is its scissor arches, built to shore up an unstable central tower in the 14th century. These arches are both functional and gorgeous, and stand as a testament to the ingenuity and skill of medieval craftsmen. Wandering the cathedral, we stumbled upon a young organist playing a familiar tune. And just like that, we're on to Bristol. We made Bristol our extended home base while exploring the region and felt right at home. Bristol is built along the River Avon and has a proud maritime heritage, a vibrant art scene, and a complex history. We began at the renowned 12th century St. Mary Redcliffe Cathedral. Queen Elizabeth I described it as the fairest, goodliest, and most famous parish church in England. Packed with artifacts like this 15th century whalebone brought back as a souvenir from John Cabot's voyage to Newfoundland, a more complex history is being told in the stained glass. Empty panels now stand where scenes of the infamous 17th century slave trader Edward Colston once stood. More modern and socially acceptable images are taking its place. In the center of town stands an empty plinth where a statue to Edward Colston once stood. During the Black Lives Matter movement in June 2020, protesters removed the statue of the man who is believed to have traded approximately 100,000 slaves to the Americas, and to the cheers of the crowds, threw him in the river. The story of slavery is continued in the nearby Amshed Museum, where an excellent exhibit displays information regarding this horrible and complex past. As one of Britain's major port cities, Bristol became heavily involved in the trafficking of enslaved Africans to the Americas. Today, Bristol continues to grapple with the legacy of its involvement in the slave trade. It reminded me that wounds are still deep, and that we don't have to sit ignorant and idly by to the wrongs of the past. The rest of the museum contains a brief history of Bristol and a curious item, a book bound using the tanned skin of a convicted murderer.
On to better smelling topics, Bristol has an elaborate maze of indoor street vendors that have foods from all over. We had some of the best barbecue and shawarma to date. Walking the streets of Bristol, keep an eye on the sides of buildings and down alleyways as you may come across an original Banksy. Banksy, the famous anonymous street artist, grew up here and left his marks. Bristol is home to one of the coolest maritime ships of the 1800s, the SS Great Britain, designed by the famous engineer Brunel. It was the first iron hull and propeller-powered ship yet, and completed its maiden voyage from Bristol to New York in a record-breaking time of just 14 days. It was a glorious third, second, and first-class immigrant commuter between the Americas and Australian continents until it was left abandoned around the Falkland Islands or near Antarctica. In the 70s, it was towed home to Bristol and later restored to its glory in this amazing and interactive museum. We visited the ship dock twice during our stay and definitely recommend it for families and lovers of ship history. We may have even gotten too comfortable exploring this ship's upper and lower class rooms. Is it comfortable?
It is not very comfortable. I doubt these are the original mattresses. So.
I bet they're nicer than the original mattresses.
Oh, those are tight. Yep. Not made for people who are 6'5".
This may be the closest we will ever get to riding first class anytime soon.
What happened here, Bailey?
I thought, oh wow, like they have their own separate bathrooms for the first class, and I pushed it open and it's an actual bathroom.
Yeah,
So
it is
it's gonna be no one was sitting there.
That is not an exhibit, but an actual bathroom. So.
Bristol was the perfect home base. With so much to explore and community events that pull you right in, we felt like we were having as much fun as this guy every day.
Cardiff, the capital of Wales, makes for an easy day trip from England as it's well connected by train. We didn't really plan for our day in Cardiff, so we just went with the flow and followed crowds of people headed to a nearby park where a Welsh music festival was in full swing. It was our first time hearing the Welsh language. Leaving the festival, we stopped by the 11th century Cardiff Castle. With its stone walls, moat, and lone tower, it looks like every sandcastle I've attempted to make. Just big enough to protect a single royal family, this tower does come equipped with a toilet. The views from the top of the castle give gorgeous scenes of the heart of Cardiff, the old mixed with new. I think I might just have to lock up these two princesses in the tallest tower.
Hey, where's my Reezy? There's Reese.
Oh no! Oh no!
Ah! Let's see it, Belly. Let's hear you singing.
The adjacent Cardiff Castle Museum gives you a peek into the life of the noble family who once called this place home. The core of the house at Cardiff Castle dates from the 1400s, with substantial extensions and alterations having been made over the centuries. And it comes with a geometrically impressive dome resembling that of Spain's Alhambra. We were surprised with how much we enjoyed Cardiff and hope to come back and explore more of this country. Even Reese couldn't get enough of Wales.
For a memorable English weekend, we rented a car to explore the enchanted honey-colored stone villages of the Cotswolds. And like a true English village, it comes with the English weather. As some may see the rain as a deterrent to exploring, we got the place all to ourselves to window shop antique stores and find fun Reese-sized statues. Dubbed as the heart of England, the Cotswolds is known for its picture-perfect landscapes and villages. During the Middle Ages, the Cotswolds became renowned for its wool production. The high-quality Cotswold sheep's wool was highly prized, making the region very prosperous. This wealth is reflected in the grand wool churches, such as those here in Chippinghampton. Though these villages are quiet and small, it's good to step away from big tourism and reflect on the amount of history packed into these sleepy towns. But remember to keep your pinkies up during afternoon tea or you'll end up in the stockades. While visiting nearby Northern Ireland, we were fortunate enough to house sit in the countryside for someone that provided us with free lodging and use of her car in exchange for caring for her house and 2 dogs while she was away on vacation. We stayed for 9 days, which comes to a cost savings of around $1,000. We so enjoyed our house sit, we wanted to share this experience with you. Scan the QR code or see a link in the description below for the house sitting service that we have come to rely on at no extra cost to you. Thanks for supporting our channel.
Here's what we would recommend for 48 hours of fun in London. Let's get to it. Arriving to London in the Tube, we meet up with my parents to explore London's highlights, including the Tower of London. Famous for its role as a royal residence, a prison, and a place of execution, as well as housing the crown jewels of the United Kingdom. Several exhibits display artifacts such as this authentic medieval armor and this used executioner's chopping block. You can even try your hand at defending the castle from invaders. Adjacent to the Tower of London is the iconic Tower Bridge, not to be confused with London Bridge. The British Museum is a must visit, and we just scratched the surface in our 2 hours here. Known for housing an incredible Egyptian collection, the Rosetta Stone, and the Parthenon marbles amongst much more, You could easily make a whole day of visiting this place. With parents in town, we get a date night to ourselves and splurged on $5 tickets to Shakespeare's Globe, a reconstruction of an Elizabethan playhouse for which Shakespeare wrote his plays. Just like the original, it's located on the south bank of the Thames. These cheap seats aren't hidden somewhere in the back. It's standing room only, right near the stage, open to the elements. Don't forget a raincoat. We're up early the next morning to catch the changing of the guard at the Buckingham Palace. It's worth it to research a bit ahead of time to know when and where the processions began. A personal favorite site is the Churchill War Rooms. Housing the underground nerve center where the British government directed the Second World War, this once top-secret bunker was sealed up at the end of the Second World War and wasn't opened and made public again until the 1970s. Rooms are kept in situ from the day the war ended. Included in the tour is the incredible Churchill Museum. With plenty of sights to see on our next visit, I can't believe we are already headed to our final destination.
On our longest train ride in Great Britain yet, we travel up to York. Staying just outside of the historic city center, the first thing to do is stroll the 2.5 miles of continuous medieval walls to get your bearings of the beautiful capital of the North. We took part in a free volunteer-led tour of the walls that were very extensive, but the main takeaway is that though the walls and fort gates are old, the city of York has done everything to maintain their beauty around the city. Encompassing the heart of the city, these walls follow the original line of the Roman and medieval defenses. An added bonus to the beauty, the walls limit the amount of car traffic, leaving a very walkable city center to enjoy. If you ever want to get lost in York, it's in the Shambles. Each step will feel magical as you walk the narrow cobblestone streets lined with leaning timber-framed buildings. Each one seems pulled straight from a medieval fairy tale. A neverland of sorts to all who love shopping or the Harry Potter stories. You will lose yourself to time and spend all day walking, browsing shop windows, and all the local made goods. A true gem of England and perhaps one of the top 3 cathedrals we have ever visited is the York Minster. The grounds on which the York Minster is built has been a site of worship since Roman times. Wooden and stone buildings were erected and destroyed up until the medieval age when a massive Catholic church was built and became a site of pilgrimage. Since the organization of the Church of England by King Henry VIII, the Minster has been in the hands of the Protestant faith. An absolute beauty, this church has undergone much reconstruction, having survived fires, enemy sieges, and periods of neglect. We highly recommend tagging along with one of the free York Minster official tour guides to learn all the hidden secrets of this singular building. A special highlight will be the stained glass windows. Right now we are looking at the largest expanse of medieval-era stained glass in the world. Bright colors and detailed scenes will make all, the young and the old, throw their heads up to admire the designs and the work that goes into preserving them. We visited the Minster 3 separate times and every time walked away in awe. But as always, having our eyes open to the world we travel is fun, but doing so with our daughter on our hip has been nothing short of magical.
If seeing York makes you wish you could go back to another age, you're in luck. We discovered York through all the eras in the York Castle Museum. Reconstructed Victorian-era streets allow you to window shop as if you were in the late 1800s. Complete with time-era knickknacks, questionable apothecaries, and a prison reconstruction.
You are being put in prison because you're too darn cute.
Please, sir.
Clink.
You live in
She's going crazy. She's rabid.
York is a place we are so glad to have spent an extended period of time. We were able to slow down and appreciate the buildings, the city walls, the shops, and the pristine city gardens. The Shambles food court makes for a great quick lunch, and don't forget about tea time. If you find yourself in York, don't miss out on Rustique. We had multiple locals recommend it to us, and it did not disappoint.
All right, where are we today, Bills?
in the elevator.
We are in the elevator. Where are we today, Bailey?
We are at the Free National Railway Museum. Okay. Today we're at the Free Railway Museum.
Showcasing trains from all over the world in all eras, this has to be one of the greatest train collections in the world. Consider checking out the Flying Scotsman VR experience and relive the day when the Flying Scotsman became the first train to break 100 miles an hour. It's a great chance to explore around, over, and even under these incredible machines. The museum now stands where the rail yard once stood, which was severely damaged during bombings of the Second World War. I think it's safe to say we all came away quite the train enthusiasts. England has been everything we hoped it to be. Incredible history, beautiful cities, towering cathedrals, and the very best of memories. If you enjoyed this video, consider journeying along with us by subscribing. Next time, we find ourselves exploring Scotland. Thanks for watching, and as always, dream big and enjoy the journey.